In a world destroyed by the demon kin, Zephyr appears to be the last human standing. He is now facing the demon lord, Tartarus, the monarch of demons. With the desire to end humanity for good, Tartarus stabs Zephyr with his demon sword. As he sat down waiting for his end, Tartarus cast a time-slowing spell on Zephyr to have a final conversation. Tartarus commends Zephyr, as he is the first human who has been able to bother the monarch in such a long time. He offers Zephyr to work under him. Zephyr remembered his loved one had placed a strong spell on him. Flipping the bird on him, Zephyr causes an explosion reaching as far as the plateau. Obviously, the demon god didn't die. The demon lord still survived with only his hand incinerated. The furious Tartarus destroys the burnt body of Zephyr, which was his only remains. But it didn't end there. Zephyr wakes up in an unknown temple with his body and armor intact. He is approached by a high-level angel Mercedes who shared the word of the gods. The gods had decided to give him another chance to go back to the past with his memories and capabilities with him. She further said they wanted something interesting to watch. He sees it as an opportunity for his revenge, no matter how furious it made him, and accepted the offer. The next thing we see is that Zephyr wakes up 10 years ago to a time when he was a slave at the temple. Realizing his powers and chance, he feels excited about his revenge on the demon god of destruction. Time travel rocks! The supervisor of the slaves whips him, but Zephyr is able to catch it. Zephyr realized his first perk, the wall of iron. He apologizes and gets back to work. Thanks to his physique, he astonishes everyone by mining ore at an incredible pace. His group ended up ranking first. It is then explained that the Temple of Arya, one of the three great gods, is the biggest religion and also the biggest loan company on the continent. Many slaves work here to pay off their loans and have a stigma mark on them. One such mark was on Zephyr as well. He decides to pay off his loan in order to move freely and carry out his plans. Thinking about his past lover, Altair, he promises that he will protect her this time. Remembering his perk of Hermes that increases the effects of potions by 500%, he buys health potions and trains hard. Day by day, he repeats the same process. One day, he reports to the mining supervisor that he heard a monster's cry. He asks to call the hunter team so he can lead them toward the place where he heard the monster cry. Leading the team to the dungeon, Zephyr remembered that in his past life, 2 of his team members would die. He planned to use this to his advantage. It is explained that the job of the hunters was to collect information first and then devise a strategy with proper teams to take over the dungeons. However, Goethe, the team lead, planned on doing it themselves. Using hazelnut leaves and seeds, they drew out the monsters called kobolds and killed those using traps. Just when they thought the dungeon was clear, it is shown that a huge predator appears overpowering the whole team. Classic turn of events. Zephyr protects Goethe and blocks the attack using his wall of iron. As the battle begins, Zephyr uses his third perk, Silver Key, a room key to a forgotten castle. The user can withdraw and deposit items from it. A fierce battle unfolds as Zephyr uses the Soul Dragon plant to overcome the skill fear of the predator. They clash, and Zephyr overpowers the predator using multiple skills in his arsenal. Finally, as he defeats the predator using poison and brute force, he asks Goethe to have a quick chat with him. It's fun when you know the future, isn't it? Somewhere else, a group of people are shown destroying a person who is a demon god worshipper. These are the hunter slaves who work directly under Lord Martius of the Heretics Inquisitors. Back at the dungeon, Zephyr hides the body of the predator, and Goethe is amazed by his skills. Goethe recruits Zephyr as a hunter. Goethe and Zephyr cross paths with the same group of people who destroyed the demon worshipper. Sahach, the group leader, notices Zephyr's high-level capabilities and stops to question him. Sahach asks Zephyr if he knows about demon god worshippers. Without a satisfactory answer from Zephyr, a fight is provoked. It is seen that Sahach activates a spell called Red Field, which buffs all of the members of his team. Zephyr defends against all attacks and studies the attack pattern, taking a few cuts in the process. When Sahach rushes forward to give the final blow, Zephyr knocks him hard to the ground in a single attack. Saitama vibes I kid you not, then goes on to obliterate the whole team. Seeing this from a window, a red-haired man gets surprised and thinks Zephyr is sent to hunt him. Walking down the alley, Zephyr falls down in pain due to the depletion of his mana. It is then told that the perk Wall of Iron has a side effect. It accumulates debt when used more and more. When the user has depleted their mana, the god of loans, Uzra sends the spirit Shylock to collect the debt. It's a double-edged sword. However, Zephyr has an emergency potion prepared for this to restore some of his mana. He outplays Uzra and mocks him. My man is the god of pissing off gods. Zephyr collapses and wakes up tied in a new difficult situation. A loan he took from Sister Anna at the temple was now due, and he had to pay it with his organs. Zephyr almost lost his fingers, but remembers a name to stop the sister. Zephyr shocked her as he revealed her other persona, White Rose, a broker with connections in the underground who exchanges monster corpses, equipment, and information regarding people. Meanwhile, Sahach is enraged by his recent defeat and humiliation. He is then visited by the red-haired man, Ned. He gives Sahach an ultimatum to kill Zephyr due to the shame brought on Lord Matthias. Ned gives him a mysterious demon item found in the hideout of the demon worshipper. As Ned leaves, it is revealed that Ned Strayer is a disciple demon worshipper and has malicious intentions. Back at the temple, Zephyr makes a deal with Sister Anna. He agrees to bring in 3 more predators in exchange for better equipment. Zephyr also asks her an alcoholic favor. Zephyr, the new rookie member, and his team led by Goethe now celebrate their victory at the dungeon. Zephyr offers them the luxurious alcohol he took from Sister Anna to gain their trust. It is seen, however, that Dale, his team member, doesn't trust Zephyr and thinks he's a scammer. He's going to regret that later. The team now heads out on a new journey and reaches the cave town Edeline. It is seen that once a happy and lively town is now turned into a nest of monsters. Zephyr uses mana detection and identifies mana webs. This only meant that it was home to no other than the black steel spider. As they were devising a plan, Dale underestimated the danger and thought of clearing the dungeon solo. He accidentally touches a web and alerts the spiders in there. Instant regret. Zephyr saves him and the team is now preparing for battle. Zephyr defends himself using the wall of iron and clears the room of spiders with a mana punch. Throughout the battle, he teaches and guides his team members on how to deal with the bigger spiders. His team members manage to kill one on their own, while Zephyr kills several more. Surprised by his strength, Goethe asks him if he was a disciple of someone great. Zephyr did remember someone who was his master. Using the sharp-bladed legs of the killed spiders, Zephyr and the others prepare to take on the queen spider. Zephyr appears to have taken authority over the team as he now commands and leads his members. Zephyr draws out the queen spider by taking out the night guard spiders who protected her. The queen is provoked and enraged. Zephyr evades her attacks and asks Goethe and the others to attack from behind, a safe spot. A fierce battle takes place. Up next, we see simultaneous attacks from all the hunters. The queen spider is giving them a tough time. Dale realizes how strong Zephyr is as he protects him multiple times during the fight. The team is giving everything they have got, and the fight is coming close to an end. Finally, they have defeated the queen spider. Zephyr lets his team members make the finishing blow. However, Dale realizes this and acknowledges Zephyr's true strength. Dale saw why he ain't the main character. With such extraordinary teamwork, Zephyr realizes that he can go far ahead with this team. But they wouldn't be able to help him deal with what's to come at him in the future. Back at the temple, Rose deals with the buyer who buys the corpse of the predator. She gives Zephyr a silver alchemist set that he needs to use later. Suddenly, Ned appears from behind, calling out to them. It reveals that Ned is one of only 12 Class 1 examiners, a skilled member acknowledged even by the temple, the direct superior of Sahach. Zephyr ended up provoking him, and they both then release their aura, making it clash. It makes Rose freak out. Rose uses the temple authority to command them to kneel. Bound by the stigma of slaves engraving, they have to follow those who are marked by the followers of the light, which is Rose. She takes away Zephyr and tells him not to mess with everyone around here, especially Ned. Meanwhile, Ned is instructed by his master to go under the temple and infiltrate it from there. On the other hand, Sahach is seen killing common villagers with his newly received demon powers, and he now plans to finish Zephyr. In the laboratory, Zephyr uses all kinds of ingredients, as he boils those ingredients together with the Spider Queen's poison, resulting in Poison King's number 61. He uses precise wooden acupuncture needles soaked in dilute poison on himself. It is then explained that this treatment is used to strengthen the body and increase magical power. By using internal energy flow, he withstands the pain. A few hours later, in the northern forest, a magical flare is shot, and hunters are seen running away from monsters. They are too much for them to handle. Then, Zephyr comes to the rescue and defeats the bird monsters. He heads to the dungeon and defeats the bird boss in an instant as well. It appears the poison treatment has worked. A few days later in the temple, the news that Zephyr single-handedly cleared the uncontrolled cockatrice nest comes to the temple's head. What's more, the boss was a 30-meter-long boss. Matthias, the senior heresy examiner, 3rd Division, informs Lucius, the head of the Temple Knights, regarding the incident, where both the field investigation and the survivor's testimony match. Zephyr is really making himself appealing in order to participate in the raid about 20 days from now. Back at the barrack, the sister provides Zephyr with a mana purification ring. His team members think something is going on between them. The sister thinks Zephyr was an assassin before he became a slave. Suddenly, an emergency order for Goethe's team came at the door. Zephyr saw it as an opportunity to make his name to participate in the raid. He heads out to the destination thinking he was called out by Ned, only to find a bloodthirsty Sahatch waiting for him.
What happens next? Make sure you subscribe for part 2.